Hello everyone, Neeta and I are here to discuss a developing story. The story that's developing is coming from Rajasthan. It's a poll-bound state where an ED official has been arrested for demanding 15 lakh bribe. And this arrest has been made by the Anti-Corruption Bureau of Rajasthan. It becomes important politically because this arrest is happening after the ED conducted raids against those who were seen as alleged associates of Vaibhav Gehlot, who is the son of Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. Vaibhav Gehlot was asked to appear before the Enforcement Directorate on Monday, which he did, and the entire Congress party has been saying that this entire action by the Enforcement Directorate against Mr. Gehlot's son is purely politically motivated. So what do we know about the case, which is ongoing right now in Rajasthan? Let me go straight to Neeta, who tracks investigating agencies for us. Neeta, what do we know?
See, as far as this case is concerned, Marya, it's an old case, chit fund case, in which now the ED officer has been arrested. As you were mentioning, that Rajasthan people, especially the government, has been saying that it's a politically motivated case. But we have to remember, now the people who have arrested these people, the ED officer, those are Rajasthan cops. So the ACB reports to the government, the chief minister himself. So there's a clear demarcation between, there has been a demarcation as far as even the CBI is concerned. Even Rajasthan is one of those states which has forbidden CBI to come and investigate cases in Rajasthan till the time they don't have a go-ahead. So obviously now it's a election-bound state, it's a political mall there. So obviously the battle is going to be fought politically. But as far as this case is concerned, now with this arrest of these ED officers, माहौल और गर्म होगा वहां पर, as they say.
माहौल तो क्लियरली गर्म हो गया अनीता, लेकिन अब सवाल ये उठता है कि ये 15 लाख का ब्राइब का जो केस है, इसमें कौन ऑफिसर इन्वॉल्व हैं और उनके एसोसिएट कौन थे? क्योंकि अगर हम देखें तो इनका नाम आ रहा है नवल, किशोर, मीना.
सी, जो ऑफिसर्स जो इन्वेस्टिगेट कर रहे होंगे, जो ईओ ऑफिसर होगा वहां का, उसने जैसे ये मेंशन कर रहे हैं आप, आई डोंट नो द रैंक ऑफ दिस ऑफिसर, बट ही मस्ट बी द ऑफिसर हु वुड बी डीलिंग विद दिस केस. ही सेज दैट ही विल नॉट टेक द मैटर टू द कोर्ट. He will not make arrest. You give this much of money. This is not the first time when an ED officer has been arrested. Earlier एक senior officer भी पहले arrest हुआ था, लेकिन matters जो हैं वो clearly court तक जब जाते हैं तो मामला सुलझ जाता है. वो हमने हमेशा देखा है. जहाँ तक ईडी का सवाल है, बहुत कैटेगोरिकल यहाँ पे एक डिस्टिंक्शन यहाँ पे बताने की जरूरत है सबको, कि जब हम ईडी का जो समन होता है वो सेक्शन 50 के तहत आता है, पीएमएलए के तहत. And the distinction between the normal CRPC is that under this section, anything that an accused says is admissible. So Gehlot साहब का जो बेटा कहकर आया होगा या नहीं कहकर आया होगा, वो admissible होगा. तो उसे लेकर दबाव बनाया जा रहा होगा कि भाई आप ये आप बोलकर आए हैं, ये तो admissible, and you can obviously take that matter to the court. So obviously that would be the scene, and that is why he must be, I don't know, we just assume he was demanding that much money, 15 to 17 lakhs, and then ACB has now jumped in, and ACB got a whiff of it, and now they have arrested him.
And interestingly, what we have seen, as Neeta was pointing out, multiple opposition ruled states have withdrawn what was seen as the power of the Central Bureau of Investigation to raid in those states. So now what we are seeing is an increase in number of ED raids in states outside, So why? Yes. So then, what exactly is happening here? These two agencies, Neeta, one enforcement directorate, another CBI. These two agencies largely have different domain.
Absolutely.
One is Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The other one is Prevention of Corruption Act. Then why are we seeing almost like some kind of?
See, as far as CBI and ED are concerned, obviously they have a different mandate. As you are also mentioning, one deals with the corruption and one deals with the money laundering aspect of it. But the problem with the ED cases there, Marya, is that most of the ED cases rely on the investigations done by CBI. So whatever evidence the CBI investigates, because it's a corruption case in which money laundering has happened. So if a corruption case falls flat, subsequently the ED case also falls flat. And that is why we see that, in the recent figures, that almost 1,200 cases which were registered by Enforcement Directorate, only 24 convictions they managed over years since the year 2005 to 2023. However, ED says that the conviction rate depends on the fact that how many cases go to the court. But these are all technical matters which are fought legally. But in this case, it's going to be very interesting because one agency versus another agency, which we have always seen in such cases.
So it's agency versus agency playing out. It's also center versus state, which is playing out. And as Neeta was pointing out, the ACB is essentially the state's cop. These are officers who report to the Home Minister of the state, in this case Rajasthan. And as far as the ED is concerned, they have a different jurisdiction. Their boss is someone else. But yes, in the finance ministry. So coming to what is against Vaibhav Gehlot and why was he raided and why was he asked to appear before the Enforcement Directorate?
See, it was a chit fund case. It's an old chit fund case in which some money had gone from one end to another end. In which he was charged. He claims that he has not been summoned so far, but now he has been summoned. And now that the elections are happening in Rajasthan, that is why he has been summoned. So the timing, the Congress was obviously lashing out on ED as far as this timing is concerned. But obviously there was some case, and it's up to ED when they want to take the case forward. And these type of investigations never die. You have a statement, they can take action when they want. That is the prerogative of the investigating agency. But obviously the battle is now going to be fought politically.
So there is an investigation angle to what has been a political battle, but against Meena, who has been caught red-handed, as the Anti-Corruption Bureau of Rajasthan is claiming, with that bribe amount. He has been caught red-handed and arrested with that bribe amount. This ED officer that we are talking about now, Neeta, if an officer is arrested with bribe amount, what is the immediate action which is taken?
See, the matter obviously, since he is a center's deputy, because he reports to the Enforcement Directorate, so obviously he is going to be asked for his explanation. If the matter is indeed proved, he would be suspended. However, in this case, it is highly unlikely because it's going to be fought by the ED also. They would be saying that this money was either planted, or the chain needs to be established. The money trail needs to be established, but which would be a very humongous task as far as even ACB is concerned, because in such cases most of the accused go scot-free.
Okay, quick word, Neeta. We'll wrap up this conversation. But interesting developments.
Absolutely.
We have seen agency versus agency
Many a
times. But what makes this different from the past?
A, that the Chief Minister's son is involved. He is direct in line of fire. B, it's Enforcement Directorate, which the opposition has been gunning for, which they say 95% of the people are being targeted are from opposition leaders. So ED wants to obviously, not want that kind of an image. So ED is obviously being questioned. So, and third is it's election time. So obviously, तीनों चीजें काफी भारी हैं.
It's a mix of almost like a cocktail which has been prepared. Neeta, but that point that has been made, that Chief Minister's son is in the line of fire. These are cops who report to the Home Minister of Rajasthan. The government in Rajasthan, which is a poll-bound state right now, is of the Congress party. So multiple questions, of course, and it is coming at a time when, only today that Arvind Kejriwal said that he will not be appearing before the Enforcement Directorate in the liquor policy scam because he said that the summons were illegal in nature. So legality and illegality is also the domain in which the ED is being viewed, and it is facing a lot of questions, particularly from and criticism from opposition leaders. And given the nature of cases that are there, if you can do a recap of the opposition leaders who are facing ED charges.
See, most of the cases, what the opposition says that each time there's a ED raid, as far as the opposition leader is concerned, he just changes his track, and the day he comes to BJP, the washing machine washes him and puts him back on track. But as far there have been instances on those counts also, but the opposition has a clear number. They say 95% of the raids which are being conducted by the Enforcement Directorate are being conducted on opposition leaders. But ED, as far as you were mentioning Arvind Kejriwal, the letter that he has written to ED is very interesting. He has said you need to specify
whether I'm a suspect or a witness,
or an Aam Aadmi party convener, or as an individual, or as the CM. So obviously he's also
Yes.
going to fight out legally. So even in this case, the matter is going to be fought legally now.
All right. Neeta, thank you so much for breaking that story for us. So it's agency versus agency, which is playing out in poll-bound Rajasthan. Remember, the timing is important because this arrest of an ED officer is coming 48 hours after Vaibhav Gehlot, who is the son of Rajasthan Chief Minister, appeared before the same agency, which is the Enforcement Directorate. So thank you so much.